Hello, Leo. Elsie here to do your reading. How are you, my friends? Here we are. I hope you're well. Happy new moon. I'm doing this on the new moon. We have a 9-card draw coming at you. Energy for the week ahead. How are you? I hope you're well. Don't forget, private reads are available. Check the pinned comment for all of the information you need about that. Let's find out what's going on for you, my fire family. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. I think Venus just moved into Leo, didn't it? We'll see how that comes about for you. Tell me about Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for the week ahead. Ah, look at that. Queen of Cups. All right, we're starting there, friends. Buckle in. Let's find out what's going on for Leo. We've got the 4 of Cups. And then we have the Ace of Wands. I'm going to say I'm probably connecting to a Leo who feels rejected emotionally, feels rejected in love. I think that you feel, Leo, that it just never works out for you. I feel like you really are passionate about finding someone new, something new. But I think that it's like there's a cycle that needs to change here. And I feel that it's almost like you chase things in fire because you're really passionate about life, passionate about people. And I think that you that you start out in fire. And then I feel like once your feelings catch up, I think this is the way it goes. It feels like I'm talking to somebody here who quickly gets into something, but it usually starts in fire because, Leo, you're beautiful to look at, right? Most Leos are. And I feel like it's probably a physical attraction thing. And then your feelings will catch up later. And I don't think you're really worried about that. But by the time the feelings catch up, it's almost like this is burnt out, it's fizzled, and now you feel rejected emotionally. Tell me more about Leo. We have the 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, and then it feels like what comes after that is you begin to judge yourself. So I'm going to say that it feels as though something's about to turn around, but I feel it's also you that has to turn around. Understand, when the Judgment card is here, it feels like you are going to get another chance, but it also feels like stop going through the same cycle. I'm going to say something has to change. If you don't change something, nothing else will change. So it feels like if you always want the same that you always got, then not changing is really where it's at. But if you want something different, you're going to have to change the way that you conceal your emotions. And it feels like somebody here usually gets out there, gets in fire. You're beautiful, you're attractive, people are attracted to you. And then by the time your feelings have caught up, something here has already ensued, and it feels like heartbreak. Because I feel like you're not the person who gets your emotions involved at the very beginning. I feel like you're going to get another chance, so I feel like there is something that's coming around the corner here for you. We do have the High Priestess. Yeah, it does feel like you conceal your emotional part of you when you get into a relationship here. We've got the World card. I think you want to stop this. I feel like you want to get out of this chapter of your life. I'm tired of getting my heart broken is what it feels like. I'm tired of getting my heart broken. I'm tired of waiting for the next person to come around when the same thing is going to happen again. I feel like you are going to take some sort of step to get out of this chapter of your life. It feels like that you stay silent about not really feeling emotionally vulnerable when you first meet somebody, but that you're eating with your eyes first. You know what I mean? So when you're looking at a catalog and you see a picture of food, right? You're looking at it first and you like what you see. And then by the time your emotions catch up, it feels like something has already ended. So I feel like what you're going to have is a breakthrough. We've got the Sun and the Judgment card here. There is going to be a breakthrough. And I feel as though, look, you don't have to give up all your fire, Leo. That's what makes you fun. That's what attracts people to you. You don't have to give up all your fire, but I feel like if you keep doing the same thing in relationships and they're never working out, I feel like something needs to change. Judgment agrees with me because Judgment is about turning the other way or taking a different path. Something is going to come back around again. It's like the lesson keeps showing up until you understand the lesson. I feel like the lesson is going to be revealed to you in the next connection that you have. Because I feel like with the Judgment card, the Sun, and the Ace of Wands, that something is about to show up. A new, exciting, passionate beginning for you with somebody. This does feel like it is romantic to me because we are starting out all in cups here. But I feel like you hesitate to show your emotions at the beginning, because I don't want to get my emotions rejected. I don't want to get into it emotionally until I know that the passion is on point, and then I'll think about bringing feelings into it. So I feel like something's about to be revealed to you here, whether that's a person or a different cycle, I'm going to say, because the old chapter of you having your heart broken constantly because you're in a comfort zone where you don't really want to show your emotions, or being rejected and having heartbreak, I feel it is a chapter that you want to change or bring to a close. I'm going to put 2 cards down here. We're going to see what's underneath the surface before we get to this clarification. Okay, now everything's all screwed up here, confused. All right, underneath the surface, we have the Hierophant. So listen, I feel like you do want to commit. I feel like you do want a commitment. You want to settle down. It feels like you're quite serious about finding someone who's really compatible with you. But it might be the way you're going about looking that is not really leading you to what you want. So I feel like you do want a soulmate, a permanent soulmate. You want to commit to somebody who feels like you've known them before. Somebody who can sort of, I'm going to say with these 2 cards, it feels like somebody who knows what you need before you need it. You want someone who is a leader, whether that's a feminine or a masculine, a man or a woman. You want somebody who can live their life apart from you, but also wants to live their life with you. They want to be in a commitment, but I feel like they also want to stand alone. Like, you don't want someone who's codependent, I guess is what I'm saying. But it feels like you are hoping that you will attract the right person who will end up being the soulmate. Let's talk about this 4 of Cups here. Tell me about the 4 of Cups. Why do you end up emotionally rejected? We've got the 7 of Cups. It's because of the time between when you meet somebody in passion and the time when you actually decide that it's safe enough to show your feelings. It feels like there's a confusion in between there. And when you're confused about it, they will be confused about it. If you don't know what you want, then they don't know what you want. So I feel like it almost feels like you need to approach a connection in temperance. And I'm saying temperance because water and fire make temperance. You need to approach it in temperance, which means when you feel comfortable that the fire and the water have stopped going high highs and low lows, when you feel comfortable that everything's in the right moment, that's when you begin. It's like you don't have to not start in passion, but it feels like it has to be in a more balanced way where you're really confident that things are going to work out. Not just because you have a feeling that you want to do it. We have the 7 of Pentacles, and I'm not telling you not to stop doing that. Like, if you want to do it, I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. But I'm just saying that if you want to get out of this loop that you're in, I think that that's what this reading is about. We've got the 7 of Pentacles. Yes. So it says here that you wait from the time that you meet somebody. You jump in passion, that you wait too long, it gets confusing, it gets all tangled up emotionally, and then there is no time to nurture, because the intention is within the 7 of Pentacles. Working really hard is your intention. You intend to show your feelings, but that's not something that you do right away. You never get into a relationship based on how you feel about someone. It's usually about how attracted you are to them. And then when everything balances out, that's when you are ready to show this emotional side of you. So I feel like justice is here, but listen, I think that the cycle a little bit needs to change. Balance is about doing the right thing, right? The justice card is about getting your justice. If you can change the karma, everything will restore itself. You'll have harmony and balance, but it feels like you have to wait because the 7 of Pentacles is here. It's time to wait. It's time to be very intentional when getting into a connection with somebody. Instead of going just in fire or just in water, it needs to be in balance with temperance in order for something to be able to work. Now, if you are confused about how you feel, then don't get in fire. I feel like there's somebody here who keeps getting hurt over and over and over again. I think that's why I'm on about this. That's what the cards are saying anyway, that I feel like there's an inability to be able to be vulnerable with your feelings up front, and that the passion is no problem. And that makes total sense to me. But let's find out why the 4 of Pentacles is here. Why can't you be vulnerable? Because the 3 of Pentacles is here. It feels like you're not interested in being in something that is going to take a very long time to get off the start, right? It feels like you get impatient is what it feels like. So we've got the 3 of Pentacles, whereby there might be people out there who want to build a friendship, cooperative, collaborative. I want you to meet my friends. Some people want to take this, they want to build it slowly and in stages. But it feels like this Four of Pentacles, you're not open to that. It feels like you put your foot in the water and test it first, and then you jump in. Like, if it's good, I'm going. Like, it feels like that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, friend. But I think that if you are looking ultimately for a person who is going to be your forever connection, somebody who's going to be a soulmate, it doesn't usually, and it's not that it never happens in passion. Like, look, you can start in fire and the fire just keeps going. But if you are somebody who is only paying attention to the passion and not what the other person wants in terms of emotional connection and commitment and all of those things, because everybody gets into a passionate relationship for different reasons. Yeah, I think the intention needs to be to settle, to go slow, to plant the seed. Let's get to know each other. Let's build it slowly. But I don't necessarily know that you're open to that. The Queen of Wands is here. So I feel like you are quite attractive. I feel like you attract people all the time, and you're not interested in attracting pentacles. You're not interested in attracting partnerships or friendships. It feels like you go out into the public, into social situations with the thought of, who am I going to attract passionately? Instead of going out and saying, who can I really meet and get to know and go out and do things with? And I feel like the forward facing you, the Queen of Wands, is attracting people who are very attracted to you. And so it feels like then all of a sudden we're scaling over the planting of the seed, getting to know each other, the practical parts of it. And now all of a sudden I'm turned off to something going slow. I want to go fast. You're making big, bold moves. And I feel like it's, that's why the same situation keeps showing up. That's why you keep getting hurt. That's why it's because it all goes too quickly. This is a lesson that keeps showing up that's asking you to see it. Can you see it this time? Because, it feels as though you're not willing to take a different path. Let's talk about the Judgment card. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. You're saying, but I'm working on it. Yeah, that's fine. Like, look, not everybody is going to move at the same pace, right? Not everybody's moving at the same pace. Look, I didn't start my business until I was 50. And not everybody's moving at the same same pace. It feels like before you can understand the lesson, it feels like there still has to be a little bit more work that you have to do on yourself. And it feels as though it is self-mastery, but it's learning. It's gathering more data. It's moving a little slower. It feels like it's information that you need to gather before you go into the next thing. The Six of Swords is here. And so I feel like the Six of Swords is here. I feel like you really do want to move away from this cycle that keeps you in this cycle of getting hurt every time you get into a relationship. And I really think that's sometimes why we have this dating crisis, is because people are looking for the passion, but then it's like there's too much of a long spread of time where we don't pay attention to the pentacles. We don't pay attention to the nurturing, loving, compassionate part of it, and then expect that the passion is just going to keep showing up every time. Yeah, we got the King of Pentacles. So it feels like what you want and how you're beginning the cycle are two really different things. The King of Pentacles is ready to settle down, is very serious about what I can provide. And it feels like, I want to build a kingdom with you. I really do think that that's what you want. You're looking for a permanent commitment where we can build the kingdom together. It feels like that. I'm moving away from this cycle of having to learn all these lessons over and over and over again. I want to get more, or gain more, be the subject matter expert on how I can change the cycle. Let's talk about the World card, because I think this is a really important reading for somebody who keeps in the same cycle doing over and over and over again. The universe is trying to get you to see that there is a way to close it, but it begins with your intuition. It feels like you have to feel it, right? Before you gets revealed to you, you have to know it. It's like the universe is asking you to listen to your intuition. What's being revealed is in your intuition. You can close the chapter and stop getting hurt. This is the center of the reading, which is the heart of the matter, which is why the whole reading is going on. So we've got the World card is bringing up the Fool, the Five of Wands, and the Two of Cups. So there it is. It feels like the World says you can stop the cycle, you can close the chapter, and yes, you can still jump in. You can still jump in, but I feel like it's scary for you to jump in, not in fire, because I feel like it's almost like an ego thing. And I'm not saying you're egoic. What I'm saying is sometimes when we're afraid of showing our feelings or being vulnerable or all of that, we tend to flip into that ego energy, and that's fire energy. And a lot of us do that, right? I would argue that most of us do that, because when we're afraid of something, we just go, right? We're like, I got to be brave and I got to go. And that's fire energy. So I feel like that there is a Two of Cups waiting around the corner for you. I feel like there is a place where something becomes permanent. I think what you're fighting here is giving yourself over to someone intimately. And intimately isn't really what goes on between the sheets. Intimately is, I'm sharing things about me, my deepest, darkest fears, my deepest, darkest emotions. I'm sharing that with you, and you're sharing that with me. It's trust. That's what the Two of Cups is about. It's emotional trust and emotional reciprocity. It's less about love and emotions and romantic things than it is about the bond, the emotional bond that we have. And that can be between two people that are not in love. But I feel like this is what you're fighting. It feels too scary and ominous to show somebody your emotions right at the very beginning. So I think that you fight it. When you stop fighting that part of you, I think something new is revealed to you. I think that you're just in this place where I'm just not dating anymore. I'm not going to do it. I've uninstalled the apps. I'm not going on the websites. I'm not doing anything because I'm burnt out. I'm burnt out with starting something, getting to the talking stage, getting to the passionate stage, and then it's done. I'm not going to do that to myself anymore. We're going to find out what the solution is. And I feel like we're going to find out what the solution is because we're talking about this. Your intuition is trying to tell you something, that this keeps coming back for a reason. We're going to talk about how we can balance the fire and the water and get to some sort of temperance so you don't have to put up with getting hurt all the time. I'm going to go into the extended. If you would like to be in the extended, please look at the pinned comment at the top of all of the comments, and there you will find one link for the membership area, which is where I put all the extendeds that I do for all of the signs. And if you are interested in a private read, then please click the link to Hypsee. All of my packages, my pricing is there, and it's the only place where you can book me. So please go ahead with that. And right now I'm caught up, so if you're interested in something that sounds like something you want to talk about, then I will be there for you. I'm going to go for now into the extended. If I see you there, wonderful. And if I don't, that's all right, because I'll be back with another free reading. I'll be back because I'm always back. Take care, Leo. Thank you. Bye-bye.